Hi, in this video we're going to do a quick revision of graphing quadratics. Now remember, when graphing a quadratic you're going to get a parabola, but the key points that you want to find are the turning point with its axis of symmetry, the y-intercept and the x-intercepts, which aren't always present. So we're going to look at today at quadratic in the standard or the general form. So that's when we've got y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now before you get started with any graphing, it's always a good idea to have a quick sketch of the general form of it. So it can either be a positive quadratic where it's going up towards the right with a minimum point, or a negative quadratic. So the one we're going to look at is y equals 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. So we look at the coefficient of x squared. In this case it's 2, which is a positive number, so therefore we're going to have a positive quadratic with a minimum point. Now the easiest point to find, first of all, is the y-intercept. Now remember, the y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. So all you do is substitute x into 0 and you're just going to be left with the constant, which is 4. So our y-intercept in this case is going to occur at the point 0, 4. Now we'll find the next intercepts. Now the x-intercepts occur when y equals 0. So when y equals 0 equals 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. And we could use the quadratic formula, but in this case it'll be nice and easy just to factorise this one. So remember, when we're factorising a quadratic, I find AC, so 2 times 4 is 8, and B is 9. So I need to find numbers that will multiply together to give me 8 and add together to give me 9. So this one's fairly easy. I've got 8 times 1 is 8, 8 plus 1 is 9. So my middle term I'm going to split up using those values. So I've got 0 equals 2x squared plus 8x plus x plus 4. I might actually just keep that one in there. Now I'm going to factorise my first pair. So my common factor is going to be 2x. Take that out, I get left with x plus 4. And here my common factor is going to be 1. So if I divide both terms by 1, I get left with x plus 4. Now x plus 4 is my common term. So if I divide both terms by x plus 4, I get left with 2x plus 1. So remember, with our null factor 0, if either that or my second lot of brackets equals 0, then my answer is going to be equal to 0. So x plus 4 could equal 0, therefore x equals negative 4, or 2x plus 1 could equal 0, so x is going to equal negative a half. So we've got two solutions, or two x-intercepts. So they're going to occur at negative 4, 0, or negative a half. 0 is where it's going to cross the x-axis. Now to look for our turning point. So remember, our axis of symmetry is a vertical line, so it's just going to be x equals something. And this can be found by x equals negative b over 2a. Or it's going to be the midpoint between those two turning points. So if b is 9, so I've got negative 9 over 2 times 2 is 4. So my turning point occurs at negative 2 and 1/4. Now to find the y value, because this gives me my axis of symmetry, I'm just going to substitute that in. So y equals 2 times negative 9 over 4 squared plus 9 times negative 9 over 4 plus 4. And that's going to give me negative 6.125. Or I could write that as negative 6 1/8. So my turning point occurs at negative 2 1/4. Oops, didn't mean to put that there. Negative 6 1/8. So there's my turning point. So now that I have these points, I can just do a quick sketch of this graph. Mark in my x and y axes. Mark in my key points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of my x-intercepts, my other x-intercept, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, quarter, and that's going to be at 2.5. And there's my turning point. So I'm going to have a quadratic like that. So there's my positive quadratic. So very rough sketch. Let's just have a look at it in neater form. Oops. So there's our turning point, -2 1/4, -6 1/8, -1/2, -4 for our two x-intercepts, and 4 for our y-intercept.